Hi students, I hope that you understood the previous classes. Now let us revise the differences between solutions, colloids and suspensions. Solutions, what is the solution? It is a homogeneous mixture, and colloids and suspensions are heterogeneous mixtures. First, about size. If you observe the size of, if you compare the size of these particles in solutions, colloids and suspensions, in solution the size of the particle is very small, that means less than 1 nanometer. If they are less than 1 nanometer, then what happens? We can't separate. If they are less than 1 nanometer, the size is very small, that's why we can't distinguish the components. Not only we can't distinguish the components, observe in this diagram, we can't separate. Like for example, in this filtration process, if copper sulfate solution is filtered, we can't separate the copper sulfate particles from water. Why? The size of the copper sulfate particles in it are very, very small. And observe in the first diagram, Tyndall effect. If we focus the beam of light through this copper sulfate solution, which is blue in color, the beam of the light in first case, that means true solution, is not visible. Again, what is the beam of light? That is indicated with the lines. That border of that beam of light is indicated with the lines. Between that lines, we observe. Are you observe the path of the light in yellow color? No. Why? Due to lower size in particles. Okay. Like that, the size of the particles in it are very, very small. Then what about the size of the particles in colloid? The size of the particles in colloid is between 2 to 1000 nanometer. 2 to 1000 nanometer means its size is intermediate in between the size of the true solutions and size of suspensions. That's why the particles in colloids are not visible, but the size of the particles are enough to scatter the beam of light. Observed in this diagram, what is there? Colloidal solution is there. In this colloidal solution, the path of the beam of light is clearly visible. That means in this particles are there. This path that is visible means some particles are there which scatters the light. Okay, that is beam of light. And this is okay. Next, suspensions. If you observe the size suspensions, in which the particles are also there, but their size is larger than 1000 nanometer. That means the particle size is large. If they are large, that are visible to our naked eye. Not only if they are visible to naked eye means automatically the path of the light is clearly visible. Next, particles cannot be seen with low power microscope in a solution. Why? Their size is very small. And in colloids, the particles can see with low power microscope. Low power microscope, high power microscope means that is based on magnification factor. For example, if the magnification factor is 10 times, 40 times, 100 times, 200 times, like that only, that is low power microscope. If magnification factor is 1000 times, 10,000 times, that means that is high power microscope, what we call as electron microscope. Next, the particles can be in suspension, the particles can be seen by low power microscope also. Already it is very small, that are seen to our naked eye means by low power microscope also that are clearly seen. Next, solution homogeneous mixture, colloid heterogeneous mixture. Actually it is homogeneous mixture, like that it is given. It appears as homogeneous, that is incorrect. What is given, the third point and the colloids, that is incorrect. It appears as homogeneous, okay, but it is really heterogeneous. Next, suspension is also a heterogeneous mixture. Okay, if we take examples for solution, mixture of water and sugar, mixture of water and common salt, what we prepared, aqueous solutions of acids, all these are examples for solutions. Next, colloids. Best example for colloidal mixture is milk, blood, all these are examples for colloids. Suspension, cup syrups what we use, that are suspensions. Next, the component, other differences what are not given in the table, observe. The components in solution cannot be separated by filtration. In colloids also, the components in it cannot be separated by filtration. But in suspension, the components can be separated easily by filtration. Okay. Next, if left undisturbed, solid particles are not settled in the solution. Again, solid particles are not settled in the colloid also. But solid particles are settled in the suspension. Okay, these are the main differences between solutions, colloids and suspensions. In this diagram, what are given? Filtration, Tyndall effect and decantation. Okay, for example, in the right side glass, what is there? Muddy water is there. If the muddy water is left undisturbed for some time, what happens? That mud particles, sand particles, that are clay particles, that are settled, and above these particles water is separated as a layer. Okay, like that, if the particles are settled, then it is which mixture? Heterogeneous mixture. That heterogeneous mixture is called as suspension. Okay, next about concentration of a solution. About which topic? Concentration of a solution. What is concentration? Simply, concentration means the amount of solute present in a solvent, that means solution, that decides the concentration. Okay, in our chemical lab or while we are performing different activities, we have prepared different solutions. Okay, we have prepared different solution. Aqueous solution of sodium chloride, that means sodium chloride and water. Aqueous solution of sugar, water and sugar. And aqueous solution of nitric acid. Like that, we prepare different solutions. And observe one thing, is the amount of solute in the solutions is same in all cases? No, it is not same in all cases. That means a solution may have a small amount of solute dissolved in it, while another solution may have a large amount of solute dissolved in it. In another solution, another amount of solute may be present. Like that, in different solutions, the amount of solute present in is also different. Okay, based on the amount of solute present in a solution, in the prepared solution, these solutions may call as dilute solution or concentrated solution. Then what is dilute solution and what is concentrated solution? The solution having small amount of solute, comparatively to other solution, that is called as dilute solution. And a solution having a large amount of solute compared to other, that is concentrated solution. Okay, for example, in this observed here, first some water is taken. In the beaker, what we shown? Aqueous solution of copper sulfate. Why it is blue in color? In beaker, the copper sulfate solution color intensity is low. First beaker. Second beaker, just it is high. Third beaker, the blue color intensity is very high. Why? That means in first beaker, lower amount of copper sulfate is present in the water, and in second beaker, more amount of copper sulfate in the same water comparatively first case. But in the third case, some more higher than the second case. That means in all the beakers, equal amount of water is taken, but the amount of solute added to the solvent, say water is solvent, copper sulfate is solute, the amount of solute in all the three beakers is not same. That's why this first beaker contains dilute copper sulfate solution. Okay, next second beaker, concentrated copper sulfate solution. Like that we express. First beaker left side, and if we take only second and third beakers, third beaker dilute copper sulfate solution comparatively to third, and third beaker contains concentrated copper sulfate solution comparatively to second. Like that, based on the amount of solute present in it, the concentration of a solution is expressed. Okay, then what is this for example, if we take equal amount of water in two glass beakers, to first beaker a small amount, that means half spatula spoon of sugar is added, and to second beaker 2 tablespoonfuls of sugar is added. Stir well. Both are solutions, aqueous solution of sugar, second one is also aqueous solution of sugar, but first one is dilute solution, second one is concentrated solution. Okay, then what is meant by concentration? Concentration means simply the amount of solute present in unit volume of solution. Amount of solute means actually how it is expressed, this much of solute, like that. No, that solute is expressed in mass or volume. That means some grams or some millimeters of solute present in some mass. Some means some grams, say some grams or some milliliters of solution. That is called as concentration. Simply, what is concentration? The amount of solute present in unit volume of solution is called the concentration of a solution. Two solutions are prepared. Comparatively, the concentration of one solution is high to the other, then that is concentrated solution, other is dilute solution, like that. Okay, then what is the definition for concentration of a solution? The amount of solute present in unit volume of solution. That means, for example, 100 grams of solution is prepared. Any solution. In that 100 grams of solution, how much amount of solute is present? Simply, that is called as concentration. There are different ways for expressing concentration. That means how much amount of solute is present in the prepared solution. What we call as concentration. To express this, different ways. What are the different ways of expressing concentration? Mainly that are mass by mass percentage of a solution. Mass by mass percentage of a solution means solute is expressed in mass, prepared solution is also expressed in mass, means grams. Then its concentration is called as mass by mass percentage of a solution. Then the expression used to compute the concentration of a solution in terms of mass by mass percentage of a solution is equal to mass of the solute by mass of solution into 100. Students, observe this. Mass of the numerator, what is there? Mass of solute. In denominator, mass of solution. Mass of solution means mass of solute plus solvent. Observe this. But don't take mass of solvent in denominator. Mass of solute plus solvent, that is mass of solution. Okay. And this concentration is expressed in another way also. What is that? Mass by volume percentage of a solution. Mass by volume percentage of a solution means, for example, if a solid substance is added to a liquid, then the formed solution is in liquid state. Actually, the amount of liquid is expressed in terms of its volume. That's why it is called as mass by volume percentage of a solution. That is mass of solute by volume of solution into 100. Again, observe, volume of solution means volume of solute plus volume of solvent. Next, the third way which is used to express the concentration is volume by volume percentage. Volume by volume percentage means that solute is expressed in milliliters and solution is also expressed in milliliters. Then its concentration is volume by volume percentage of a solution. The expression used for it is volume of solute by volume of solution into 100. Okay, students, don't get confused. There are different ways of expressing concentration. That means how much amount of solute present in a unit volume of solution, that is called as concentration. To express this, different ways. That is mass percentage, next mass volume percentage, parts per million percentage, and that is expressed in terms of particles. Next, another ways are there to expressing concentration. Observe there, molarity and molality. About this molarity and molality, we will learn in higher classes. No need in this section. Okay, we have to use three ways only. What are the three ways? Mass percentage, mass by volume percentage, volume percentage. Then when this mass percentage is used, if the solute based on the physical states of solute, solvent and solution, okay, based on physical states of solute and solute, different types of solutions are there. Solute solution. Solute solution means solvent is solid, solute is also solid. Examples are alloys. Okay, that is solute solution. Okay, then liquid solute solution. Okay, solvent is liquid, solute is solid. Liquid solute solution. Liquid. Okay, solvent is liquid, solute is also liquid. aqueous solution of nitric acid or vinegar. Next, gas solution, air. Solvent is gas, solute is also gas. Liquid gas solution, aerated water, okay, carbonated water, cool drinks. Liquid in that gas, solvent, liquid, solute, gas. Like that, based on the physical states of solute and solvent, this way of expressing concentration is chosen. For example, if the solute and solvent are in solid state, then mass percentage, that is chosen. Next, if the solvent is in liquid state and solute is in solid state, mass by volume percentage is chosen. Next, both are in liquid state, volume percentage is chosen. Like that, these are the different ways used to express concentration. Based on these equations or simply expressions, a problem is given. Observe this problem, try to solve of your own. What is this problem? In this, a solution contains 40 grams of common salt in 320 grams of water. Okay, that means solution means mixture. First, observe what are the components in that mixture. In that mixture, two components are there. What are the two components? Common salt and water. In these two components, which is smaller, 40 grams of common salt, that means common salt is smaller in quantity, that contains 320 grams of water. Okay, that's why 320 grams of water is in larger quantity. That's why water is a solvent, common salt is solute. Like that, identify the, first read the problem 2 or 3 times and identify the solute and solvent based on their amount. Okay, next, calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass percentage of the solution. Here both are given in grams. Grams means that is used to express mass. Solute is given in grams, solvent is also given in grams. That's why to express the concentration, which way is used? That is expressed in terms of mass by mass percentage of the solution. Okay, in this problem, mass of the solute is equal to 40 grams. Mass of the solvent, say water, is 320 grams. Then what is the mass of the solution? Mass of the solution is equal to mass of the solute plus mass of the solvent. Means 40 grams plus 320 grams, that is 360 grams. Then mass by mass percentage of the solution is equal to mass of the solute by mass of solution into 100. Okay, put 40 grams in the place of mass of solute and put 360 grams in the place of mass of the solution. But if you substitute 320 grams in the place of mass of the solution, totally that is incorrect. Then 40 grams by 360 grams into 100. If we simplify, then the answer is obtained. Like that, you have to solve the problem. Okay, I hope that you understand how to calculate the concentration of solutions by using different ways. But in this table, molarity and molality are given. Don't bother about this molarity and molality. Thank you.